You
This is
asked
a
for
bad
it.
start.
You
What's
asked
up, it's
for it.
Nanny. I'm gonna do another cover. It's gonna be Adele, Rolling
Donuts.
in the Deep. But first, I'm gonna do a couple of shout outs. Plus two celebrate. My face has gotten better. See,
Oh yeah, it looks terrific.
Oh, yeah.
a lot better.
Good.
You look great.
Now I'm gonna do the shout outs. The first one's to Great Seniors
Jim's paying
Zero
off too.
Three. The second one is to Mr. Australian 1515.
Oh, shit.
The third one is to Big Shirley. She's really awesome.
Big
You should really
Shirley.
check
I'm
her
just
channel out.
gonna
She's got some
say,
awesome videos,
what does she
some
consider
good
Big
advice, and I
Shirley?
think you would like her a lot.
Oh,
Oh,
Also,
Jesus Christ!
I think the fourth one. I have to spell out some of them because I
I think I
can't
just caught
pronounce them.
something,
So
John.
Niozos
all right. Let's get to the
and
song.
Vanessa.
All right.
Oh Lord!
Let's get to the song. Oh,
Oh,
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching the fever pitch that's breaking me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, I'll lay your shit up there.
oh,
See how I leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I can do. There's a
we can hear
fire
a chord.
in my heart, reaching a fever pitch that's bringing me out the dark. The
Oh,
scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that was headed on. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it
oh,
all.
yeah.
Rolling in the deep, you had my heart inside, and you played it to the beat. Baby, I have no
John, you
story
gotta
to
stop
be
again.
told, but I've
oh,
heard one on you, and I'm gonna
I
make
could
your head
vomit at any
burn.
minute.
They give me in the
Phil.
piece of her
I
display.
said to Phil,
Making a home of me.
I said to Phil, I said, Phil,
I'm
let's
sorry.
open up. Let's open up with some music, Phil, because he sent me a bunch of heavy stuff. I said, Phil, let's open up with some music. He says, okay. This is what he sent me. If you don't play the music, it looks like she's trying to choke up a chicken bone. Does it not? Does it? What is that? Is that a piercing or is that something she didn't finish
John,
eating in her mouth? What is that?
It looks like a tongue taco. I don't know what she's
A
doing with that.
tongue taco. Dude,
I
that
don't know.
is
You're.
so.
I try to live a good life. I try to be a nice guy, and you tell me to open up with music.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't help myself sometimes. It's just
Dude, this should it's the song should be rolling in the deep fryer because oh my god, you are oh god, you are
wow.
Phil. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't know if we could have a show today, John. I think that might be it.
stand by one. This is the Great Awakening. Today is Thursday, May 8th. It's about 5 minutes after 9 Eastern Standard Time.
We still started with heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff. All right, so let's not go heavy duty. So yeah, no pun intended. Oh my God, you friggin' lunatic. Well, the stuff that you wanted to open one up was pretty, dude. It was pretty heavy duty stuff.
They're pretty heavy times. You had yesterday an issue with you and your brother even had it. Everybody's tense right now because
Everybody's
stuff
tense.
isn't happening, John. We heard when the P. Diddy's case started. We heard Easter was our timeline. We've heard 5 years ago stuff was going to happen. We know that's not the real Biden. There's a statue of Stacey Abrams in Times Square. I mean, times are pretty bad right now, John.
I don't know what. Well, they're confusing. I wouldn't say they're bad. As if somebody said, "How do you like the mug?" Somebody
I
said
like that.
things aren't getting worse; they're getting uncovered. But they've been getting uncovered for the longest time, and all it seems to be is dreck. I agree, and I was talking to my brother about it yesterday. He was pretty tweaked, and then I got pretty tweaked about it too. But he made a great point. He said, "Yeah, Canada, Greenland, Panama Canal, Gulf of America, Alcatraz. We didn't vote for that stuff. You didn't
Good stuff.
run.
Right.
It's all good stuff. I agree. You didn't run on that stuff. The stuff you ran on was arrests,
Yep.
reveals,
Yep.
child trafficking, cleaning
Yep.
up, all of the above. And we know how Trump works. We know how his team works. Friends close, enemies closer. It really was unnerving to see that Pam Bondi could be implicated in this. You were right. I got to give you props. You were right about her from the beginning. He was when he was nominating his cabinet, it was Kash Patel and RFK and her. I mean, it really did look like the Justice League was here, but it seems as if she was part of the reveal. She's somehow linked to it. I hate to say, I don't know, but he's
It's amazing.
After World War II. By the way, that was another thing. He's making the end of World War I, 11/11, and the end of World War II, which is today.
Victory Day. He deemed it Victory Day today.
VE Day, right? VE
Well,
Day.
he actually made a proclamation yesterday to deem today Victory Day.
It's today. Okay,
Yeah.
Victory Day. Okay. All right, so that might be a calm. That's another thing. I'm tired of figuring out what's a calm and what's legit. I get it. It's very frustrating to stand by and watch all of this stuff and still keep a good head about it. Last night you called me and I just said I can't look at anything right now. I really.
Well, you reach your point. Everybody's got their point, and it's just like it's a little overwhelming. And when you're looking at Maxine Waters' feet and Nancy Pelosi's hooves just, galloping around San Francisco like everything is all hunky-dory. It's like, no, you people are criminals. You need to pay. I mean, I have people collecting bills from me every 30 days, every 28 days. I got to pay a bill. Okay. And it's because of these people that all of our bills are inflated. We're taxed upon taxes. It's ridiculous. These people are Judases, John.
It's those people over there, Phil. It's what I've been saying all along.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
You're right.
So I know you wanted to open with this. That's why I said this is pretty heavy. That's why I'm glad we got.
Yeah, that was lighthearted.
Yeah, that's why we put rolling in or deep rolling in the fat. We had
rolling in the dough to find the wet spot.
Oh, that was a good joke. Hey, after sex, I smoke a cigarette. She smokes a ham. I'll tell you. She was a big girl, all right? Her zip code was EIEIO. You know what I'm talking about?
Your Rodney is, John, I swear, when you close your eyes and you listen to your Rodney, because you know his material so well, it makes me feel like he's here. I love it.
Mine is an impression of an impression. I'm doing guys that I know do him spot on.
Yeah, but nobody does him anymore. Nobody even mentions him anymore.
Nobody knows who he. You know what's interesting? You and I were watching Sammy Davis Jr.'s I was telling you about it. I was watching Sammy Davis Jr.'s 60th anniversary, and all of these stars. It was from 1990. Eddie Murphy was the host, and he was introducing one star after another to congratulate Sammy Davis Jr. 60 years in the business. And I'm watching and I'm saying, not one person who's in their 20s today would know any of these celebrities. Gregory Hines.
But Foster Brooks, who was like on the cusp of like my generation and your generation, even most of my generation doesn't know Foster Brooks. And that's a guy, how could you forget that guy? Guys like Ted Knight. I mean, you can't forget these guys. Phil Hartman, who we played yesterday by design, because you can't forget about these guys.
Well, interestingly enough, before I play this thing with that you sent me, I want to play something for you real quick in regard to us talking about the deep state. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. You're all right, baby. All right. I'll tell you. She's a big girl. You know what I mean? She sweats gravy. So I was watching. This is Dean. This is This is Dean Martin. This is I don't know if this is a telethon. I'm not sure what this is, but it's Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, you got me already.
Okay, so but I want to show you something, and keep in mind now. Keep in mind, we know how the deep state works and how far back they go. Okay,
you're going to ruin this for me, aren't you?
Probably. All right.
Oh no.
Just think about it for a second, and maybe this is part of the problem. My mind has been conditioned now to look for the messages. Okay, we know the black and white checkered flag, like the one they wave at the end of a race, is Masonic. It's the tiles on the floor. It means dark to light. Think about this for a second. Women's fashions have changed over the years and continually do so. Men's formal fashion have not. What are they? Black and white. Now, this is Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, and Frank Sinatra. I'll play a minute of it, and then I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and you tell me. Okay? They're having fun.
Thanks for coming over.
I didn't mean to wake you, but you're on.
Me?
Yeah.
I can't give you anything but love. Baby, dream a while and scheme a while. Sure to find. And again. Go, baby.
Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, booby.
You turn Jewish on me.
No, me, baby. I ain't gonna change.
I ain't going to change. Now, the bow ties, the black and white symbolism, I don't know. But the bow ties, do they look like butterflies to you?
Well, that's a style of bow tie from that era. It's a butterfly bow tie. I was actually going to wear one of those at my wedding.
Correct. But we know what the butterfly means. The monarch butterfly. We know what it means. And the black and the dark to light, we know what their symbolism is. Is it just a coincidence? I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I was talking about yesterday. This is what's getting me going. I was watching it and I'm going, was it in our face even back then? I'm sure it had to be. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Geez, John, it's harder for me to even identify it because I grew up on that and I don't want to see it. It's one of those things where you're just like, no, you can't. That's a chairman of the board.
I don't know. He was around and possibly involved in the assassination of JFK. I don't know, dude. It's just that's where my head was going last night. I'm just giving you, for instance, so I had to take a break from all of it. So anyway, so you sent me this morning. And this is about the whole controversy allegedly with Alex Jones and
wow, James O'Keefe,
Pam
Bondi. It's just getting spicy.
It's getting bizarro.
Did you hear? James O'Keefe days ago said he's gone into hiding. He's not suicidal. He's passed the information to Alex Jones as insurance. And what's coming? We don't know. But the names Bondi, Pfizer, Epstein, they raise alarm. So let's take a breath and go back, because this story isn't new. Judas walked with the Messiah. He didn't wear the face of a villain. He wore the face of trust. He ate at the same table, and for 30 coins, he sold the future. But Judas wasn't alone. In the birth of our nation, we had our own. General Benedict Arnold, once hailed as a hero, switched sides for a British pension. He sold out a revolution. Benjamin Franklin didn't mince words. He said, Judas sold only one man, Arnold 3 million. Let that sink in. Betrayal doesn't always come from the enemy. Sometimes it wears your uniform. Sometimes it raises your flag. Trump said last week, I don't put 100% trust in anything. And maybe that's the real message here. Trust must be earned, but never blind. We don't know what O'Keefe is about to reveal. Maybe it's devastating, maybe it's not. But it's a good time to remember. The greatest threats aren't always across the battlefield. They're beside you, smiling. So ask yourself, who's the Judas in your story?
What is your price? Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Is it 100 million? What is your price? Because if your price is not your life, then you are for sale. If your price is not your life, then you are for sale. So if you're going to be a truth teller, your price has to be your life. I can't surround myself with people whose price is not their life, because the enemy, whatever the enemy is, whether it be physical, legal, spiritual, will attack the vulnerability of the person who can be compromised. So you get real spiritual real fast if you're going to do this type of work.
Wow.
That's
great advice.
That's pretty intense.
How many times have you been stabbed in the back in show business, John? How many times? Every single time.
You're doing it to me now, you prick. Although we're not in show business. Well, you know, during our interview with George Wallace the other day, we were talking about show business and being better at the business than the show. But as Joey Gay pointed out very astutely, this is not a business; it's a racket, and it's not always about talent. It's about the business. So look what's going on with comedy right now. If you're an influencer and you can put asses in the seats, they're going to put you in a comedy club and put you on that stage. And to me, that's sacrilegious. Do you know, when I was working this place here in Vegas, I loved it. They had the stage set up. You know how civilians love to, especially like in Vegas or on a cruise ship, some asshole loves to jump up.
Yep.
And grab the mic and act like they're on stage doing stand-up. Well,
Yep.
There was a guy, the manager of the club in the Tropicana. His name is George. He didn't play any games. This guy was old school. If you got on the stage and you weren't a comic, like you jumped up there to try to grab the mic or take a picture, he had it set up so that like an air raid siren went off, and he had spinning lights like on emergency vehicles that only went on when somebody jumped the stage that wasn't supposed to be there. I remember the first time he did it, it scared the shit out of me. It went whoop, and all these lights are spinning, and the guy turned around and he got on the mic, overdriven mic off the stage, and I was like, "Whoa, George!" And George turned to me and he goes, "That's sacred ground, man." He goes, "You know who takes that stage?" He goes, "You know who's been up there? Do you know what it takes to he said to me, "You know what it takes to get to that stage? That's your office." He goes, "How would I feel if someone came into my office and started going through my papers and my drawers?" He goes, "You don't get to step on that stage. No, not just anyone." And I said, "Thank you. I forgot. You're right. Thank you. That's our office. That's sacred ground. If you want to ask, you don't jump up and act like you know what I mean? No, that's sacred ground. That's where we work, and it takes a lot to get there. Don't go up and act the fool on our stuff. You know what I mean?"
No, I love that place. Harry Basil, who set that room up. By the way, I can't believe how much different he looks. And Peggy Sue Got Married. He was in that movie, Peggy Sue Got Married, with Nicolas Cage and that whole crew. He put together at one time the best room in Vegas, because Laugh Factory, there was more going on in that green room, if you remember, when it first opened.
Right.
It's just a fun place.
It was like a mini museum, and it was an homage to stand up. So while we're on the Pam Bondi thing, you sent this Ryan Mata. This guy does pretty good.
Solid. Yeah, great work.
Solid work.
And she described Epstein. She described his house. She described his anatomy. And the Palm Beach Police Department started a year-long investigation into Epstein at that point. And what happened after that year investigation is that they felt like they had statements from 5 victims, and then they had 12 corroborating statements.
Yeah.
So they were immediately
That's Shane Gillis?
Yeah.
going to arraign him on 5 counts of child abuse. But then that case got taken away by Barry Kushner in the state of Florida. And then there was a grand jury, which is very strange because usually grand juries in Florida are reserved for capital cases.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that grand jury found that Jeffrey Epstein hadn't molested a single child. And only one of, and here's the thing with that. The Palm Beach Police Department had the statements of 5 underage victims, but they were aware of 17 more. So there were 20, the Palm Beach Police Department was aware of 23 underage victims. Jesus. And that prosecutor only called 1. So it's very obvious to me that that was a cover up.
Jeez. And then the matter was sealed. But didn't he have a sex offense under his belt after that or something?
Well, here's what happened. So when that grand jury came back and said that Jeffrey Epstein hadn't molested a single child, Michael Ryder, who was one of the heroes in this story, he was the chief of the Palm Beach Police Department. He got very vociferous. He raised Cain. He said, and he went to the feds and they said, this is obvious malfeasance by this grand jury and you've got to do something about it. So the feds were going to get into it. They were going to arrest Jeffrey Epstein. Well, they were talking that there was going to be a grand jury, and then all of a sudden the grand jury was adjourned, and there was this really unctuous deal made. And I've got the emails between the assistant U.S. attorney and one of Epstein's attorneys, Jay Lefkowitz, and Anne-Marie Villafana was the assistant U.S. attorney, and they're talking about how they can minimize Epstein's sentence. And then one of the emails says, and the deal that they made was so corrupt that they had to go to a special magistrate to sign off on it. And basically what that deal did is it exonerated everyone. It exonerated the procurers, it exonerated the perpetrators. Jeffrey Epstein had to plead guilty to a single count of child abuse. He was sentenced to 18 months in a county jail. He did 13, and he had his little wing of the jail decked out like the Taj Mahal. So, he could go out during the day. So he was molesting girls during the day while he was, supposedly doing.
He was doing
time.
like nights there.
Yeah, he only had to spend nights.
What?
He only had to spend nights there.
And who was the AG?
So, Alex Jones, I don't know what to make of all of this. Again, I was talking to people, my brother specifically yesterday about this. And I don't know how much is hype. I don't know how much is flat out lies, misinformation. I don't know. But here's Alex Jones commenting on the whole thing yesterday.
I can tell you that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are 100% real. Trump's 100% real. They gave them old files a month ago to try to embarrass everybody. And then she raided the New York offices when they wouldn't turn them over. And they ordered the people to resign who were involved in it. This is incredible. Now, today I had Kyle Seraphin, the top, most prolific FBI whistleblower ever. And he exposed so much, the targeting of Catholics and conservatives, the FBI going after people at school boards in Virginia that didn't like their kids being raped by transgenders, the cover-up. He wrote so much after that. He first went to Congress with that, then they went after him, so went public on everything else. He showed me the messages from the D.C. headquarters. He talked about it on air, but he let me see it all about their secret operations against me. That was a side issue. I didn't care about that today. I said, let's move on from that because we got to bring down the mothership or we're all screwed. And he showed me all the messages, high level, that 14,000 plus terabytes, videos, all of it, the hundreds of previously unidentified child victims of the CIA, Mossad, MI6 pedophile honeypot. You wouldn't say this on air, but the point is sources get involved. But there's the DC's investigating what it thinks is key, but it's just giving it to the field offices. Total transparency, but they never do that. They're pumping it out across the country to FBI field offices saying, here's the whole file. And you folks, volunteers, they make you volunteer to look at this. This is child porn. This is kids getting raped. This is serious crimes. And they're just turning them loose. And he showed me the stuff in D.C., high level. He showed me people he knows in field offices going, holy, they just gave us oh my God. And they've got to go in the secure, area to look at it. They're asking who's going to volunteer to go look at this stuff. Let me tell you something. I've never seen child porn, I'm blessed, but just reading transcripts of when in federal cases with some of this stuff, raping kids, murdering them, and snuff films, This is not for the faint of heart. And that's in the Sound of Freedom film. Is, that based on true story. Like, most people have to quit in a few months. I mean, this is like, I've only seen a few car wrecks with dead people and once dead kids, and I still have nightmares. I mean, I'm a tough guy, but not seeing kids, top level.
Why are you laughing?
He's a tough guy. That's not even him. That's
Phil,
not even John. That's not even Alex Jones. This is
Phil,
what I'm saying. This whole thing is
Phil.
a movie.
What do you mean?
Does that look like Alex Jones to you? I mean, I know that's supposed to be Alex Jones, but does that really look?
I can't do that, dude. God.
That's what I'm saying. It's layered, man. I don't know what to think.
I don't believe that's no. That's a bridge too far right now for me.
I know it gets on you. This is what I'm saying. What do we believe, John? What do we believe? Do we believe James O'Keefe?
I don't know what to believe. Last night I woke up, I don't know how many times, and every time it was a struggle to calm my mind and get back to sleep because this stuff is just so overwhelming. I just was like, I don't know how to shut it off sometimes.
Yeah, well, you wonder why I message you at 4:00 in the morning with this stuff.
No, I don't wonder. That's the one thing I don't wonder, Phil. I know that you're consistently crazy.
Yeah.
So
I can't sleep.
And it's interesting. The Course of Miracles says that honesty is not a moral principle. Honesty means consistency. For instance, if you're a thief, every time you're around, something goes missing. That's honest because I know what I'm dealing with now. You're a thief, and I know that's consistent. So at least you're honest in that you're consistently crazy. So I don't know that you're consistently crazy. So I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, but John, with all the stuff we've been seeing and hearing about masks, and then you see Alex Jones looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, yeah, the voice is right on, but who is that guy?
He did lose a lot of weight, and he got, I saw pictures of him, getting into shape and stuff. So I think that's him. I truly do think so. I can't go there though, Phil. I mean,
I know it's another hole. I know.
And
I know.
And this stuff with the kids is so unnerving.
But how many times have you heard it, John? You heard that being an NYPD officer. If it's bad,
whoa! I wasn't NYPD. I worked in a number of departments, but I was not NYPD. But I never. The only and it wasn't a missing child. And this is kind of interesting. The only time I ever had to chase a guy who took off with a child was a 27-year-old on a motorcycle and a 14-year-old who jumped on the back with him and took off from her parents' house. I wound up arresting him. We found him. It was just good police work. It's a long story, but I had to activate the Amber Alert, and I had never done it before. And there's quite a few protocols you have to follow in order to activate the Amber Alert. And I went through all of them, and I actually got a number in Florida. I spoke to this woman in Florida, and I had to give her my credentials and my PD and all this other stuff. And it took a good hour before they began to float, go, okay, like we're going to activate the alert. An hour. By that time, I already had the guy, and we canceled the alert. But like you said, think about it. When was the last time you saw an Amber Alert? It's been a while. I see silver alerts all the time. You said, I don't think the Amber Alert was your kid is missing. You said, I think it meant your kid is ready.
Yep.
And that blew
an hour.
Come on. I had to go through all these protocols step by step. I wound up in that time. I was just on this guy's ass. I tracked him down to where he was hiding with this girl, and we wound up locking him up. And then I canceled it immediately, so it never actually went out. But
my point
was
My point was, though, with you being in the police department in New York, in the state of New York, you've seen the toughest cops that you could see, because those cops are no joke. And if those cops are retiring and quitting and going for therapy for what they've seen on these computers, how have we waited this long? How
Yeah,
have
the
we
whole-
not gone in there and busted some heads? I mean, that's what I'm
with you. Like,
saying.
that's what's frustrating as hell to me. It's like I hear these stories. I know they sound true. I can't say I know, but they sound legit.
They
And I'm
sound too
thinking,
legit.
what
Yep.
what kind of society are we that we're standing by and this is happening? Like again, where are the arrests? Where are the perp walks? Epstein was locked up for 18 months, did 12. He only had to be in jail at night. He got to leave during the day. And we're here. And apparently, now here's another thing. Look how long allegedly this has been going on. This thing has not just our whole life, from what I'm seeing, it's been going on for centuries. This is just unbelievable.
October of 1964, kissing cousins Elizabeth and Philip paid a royal visit to a Catholic residential school for Aboriginal children in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada. William Coombs was 12 years old at the time of the royal visit. I was an inmate at the Kamloops school when we were visited, said Coombs. I remember it was strange because they came by themselves, no big fanfare or nothing. But I recognized them, and the school principal told us it was the Queen, and we all got given new clothes and good food for the first time in months the day before she arrived. The day the Queen got to the school, I was part of a group of kids that went on a picnic with her and her husband and some of the priests. We went down to a meadow near Dead Man's Creek. I remember it was weird because we all had to bend down and kiss her foot, and she was wearing a white lace boot. After a while, I saw the Queen and her husband leave the picnic with 10 children from the school, and those kids never returned. They took away those 10 kids and nobody ever saw them again. We never heard anything more about them, and we never met them again, even when we were older. They were all from around there, but they all vanished. The group that disappeared was 7 boys and 3 girls in age from 6 to 14 years old. They were all from the smart group in the class. 2 of the boys were brothers, and they were Mady from Quesnel. Their last name was Arnoux, or Arnold. I don't remember the others, just an occasional first name like Cecilia, and there was an Edward. What happened was also witnessed by my friend, George Adolph, who was 11 years old at the time and a student there too. But he's dead now. William Coombs, the sole survivor, was scheduled to appear as the star witness at the International Tribunal into Crimes of Church and State in London, England. But William Coombs never made it to the tribunal. He died.
Look at the face of this demonic.
Died of unknown causes shortly before he was scheduled to testify.
The white Masonic gloves, too.
Oh, there they are. There they are. Wow.
Boy, I'm so glad I
Reverend
never
Kevin
got into
Annett,
that.
a former minister of the United Church of Canada, believes that William Coombs was murdered to stop him from speaking out about the royal abductions and other crimes of murder and torture that he had witnessed at the school.
In a nutshell, what happened was I was letting people speak from the pulpit about the crimes they'd seen in the residential school, the murders and that. I also found out about the land deals that were happening where the church was selling off native land to big logging companies for kickbacks. And I wrote a letter about that to the church. I was fired without cause and eventually thrown out of the church without any due process at all. But that one thing led to another, and I began to work a lot more with the survivors after that, the eyewitnesses.
Wow. Unbelievable.
October of 19...
Unbelievable. Evil. I'm so glad I never got into all that royal family BS. I never bought into any of that.
I have a family member that works with a large magazine conglomerate, and they are gaga over all the royal nonsense.
Yep.
They actually have a designated person or persons, small group, but still designated to everything royals. It makes all of that royal shit
Yep.
makes me want to retch. And I found this interestingly ironic. You think about Rosie O'Donnell, Eva Longoria, maybe not so much Eva Longoria because she moved to, Spain. Okay. Is Spain still somewhat under a monarchy? Are they a republic? What are they? Do we know what Spain is? I don't know.
It's Europe. Who knows what they
Who knows?
do over there?
All right. So, but Ellen DeGeneres, Rosie gets on television and she goes, we voted for a president, not a king. So what does she do? She moves to United Kingdom. And they all move to white countries. They move to the UK. They move to Ireland. They moved, Eva Longoria moved to Spain. Nobody's going to Africa. You're not doing any countries in Africa, right? You're not going to the Middle East. You're not looking for your freedom over in Dubai because they cut stuff off for things they don't. They cut off body parts for ideas they don't like. Yeah. She goes, we didn't vote for a king, and then you moved to the United Kingdom. Well, the United Kingdom pretty much
is under monarchy, you moron.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
She's a moron. John, in the chat, you mentioned Joey Gay before. One of his buddies, Pete Davidson. I was always wondering why he bleached his hair blonde. If you remember, he bleached his hair blonde. He had his tattoos removed. Apparently, there's a thing with bleach blonde hair. And when you look at the list, there you go. Why does Eminem bleach his hair?
It's pretty
all
interesting.
there.
Again, I didn't notice this myself. I saw this yesterday. I was on a walk when you sent this out, and I thought, very interesting, because I remember when he did this, and I just thought to myself, he seems like a kid. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be in his 30s, maybe even 40 at this point, right?
I think he's in his 30s.
Okay, but he's around the deep state thing. I don't know what his story is, but this is very interesting.
He has a tattoo of Hillary
CIA's
Clinton.
notorious mind control program designed to wipe memories.
For those that don't pay attention, you might never notice that every single time an actor, musician, or anyone related from Hollywood is about to become more famous or move up the ladder, they always seem to reappear with bleached blonde hair. There is no way this is just a coincidence.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I have never met any man or groups of men who wish to dye their hair bleach. Blonde, it just doesn't happen. How far does MK Ultra go? Memory suppression.
You know, it's been.
You have a release date.
You know what?
This is so creepy.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure. You know. The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy, but.
Man, give me a date.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my memory. Brighter Days memory erasure treatment.
Do you remember this? This is so weird.
Checkerboard floor.
So you probably asked yourself, why would...
Yeah.
Was there? Did I miss a checkerboard floor?
Yeah, go back. You'll see her when she's walking. There's a checkerboard floor. And she also dated Pete.
Oh,
see
God.
the floor? There it is.
God. Ay, checkerboard floor. Wow. Ay.
Once you start, that's why I'm so mad at you, because now you showed me the Frank Sinatra thing. I'm gonna have to go down that wormhole, and you ruined Sinatra for me now.
But think about, their whole thing.
Yeah.
They believe that even the robes that you wear that priests and what we called brothers wore with these black robes, and those were the robes of Saturnalia, which was the god of Saturn, or what they called Satan, which was the god of suppression and control. Let me see if I can pull up the Saturnalia thing in Rumble real quick, because when I started, I remember as a kid, SAT.
That's another wormhole. The Saturn cube. There's a Saturn cube or something.
Oh my God, I know. It's so bizarre. From Mithras to globalism, who really runs this? UK. These are all long clips. Stand by one. Dallas Macabre collapses it. I'm looking through. It's I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I see. I misspelled it. Saturnalia. Saturnalia. Stand by one.
Yeah, that's with an S.
Yeah. The Dark Origins of Christmas. Oh, let's play a little bit of this. Dark Origins of Christmas and Saturnalia. I'm not sure exactly what this is going to pull up, but let's see. I go.
Podcast craziness, quick heads up. We're about to unravel some age-old mysteries, including the one about a certain jolly gift giver who frequents this time of year. If the little ones are in earshot, maybe steer them towards a festive adventure until we wrap up. Thanks a bunch. The mere mention of Christmas evokes warm memories of family, gifts, and the most wonderful time of the year. Online and in-store retailers rake in up to 50% of their yearly income.
I didn't know Michael Madsen had his own podcast.
I was going to say Elvis.
My God, I can't believe they do this nonsense with these pop-ups.
Ads, yeah.
Ridiculous.
And that's great. After all, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Why shouldn't we go all out? But did you know that the roots of Christmas traditions go back way before the birth of Jesus? Today, we're diving into the historical mix of Christmas, from ancient Egyptian and Roman celebrations to the evolution of Santa Claus himself. It's all a matter of history, folks.
All right, get to the point, pal. Let's go.
Back into Christmas, well, perhaps the real question is, was he ever there to begin with?
Are you not curious? Who is this?
Iron Files, folks, big shout out to our fantastic
Come on, dude.
Of course, the roots of this festival date back to Greek celebrations, which in turn found its roots in the ancient Egyptian Empire. But the Romans knew how to party. Picture this: wild celebrations, sacrifices, and a carnival atmosphere that flipped Roman social norms on their head. Gambling ran rampant, and drunkenness was not only expected, but encouraged. But how did this pagan bash connect to our modern Christmas? So first things first, you're not going to find the modern version of or the term Christmas in the Bible, primarily because the idea of Christmas did not come around until the 4th century.
All right, this isn't what I thought it was going to be in this
No.
guy's.
Well, we can get to that tomorrow. We'll find something and get to it. The one I have at birth in the chat.
It's only 31 years old.
Yep, 31.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, that's why I consider him a kid, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's a big kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's lighten things up a little bit. That thing that you sent me about the what do you call it? The Italian father is brilliant.
Oh, that's great. We still haven't gotten to the Comet Challenge, by the way.
We'll do the Comet Challenge. This is classic because this reminds me of so many of my own relatives. This is not just an Italian dad. This is like a classic New York dad, and this cracked me up because this is so.
I love how he goes, Baba.
Yeah, Baba. I know, it's great. I love it. I love it.
Now, what are you doing?
Baba, why your mother coffee?
When you want your coffee?
Dad, give me ice cream.
I gotta take the ice. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna teach you something.
Yeah, look at it.
What you do is this: you order coffee, no ice, right? You order coffee, no ice, right? I went to $5. So every time you go to $5, you know what happens, right? You pay $5, $6. This cost me $6. Look at this, Baba.
Baba.
Look at this.
There's one.
I love the sound effect. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, Baba.
What do you do with the rest?
What do you mean? What I do? Baba, look, it's overflowing. Look at that. I got 2 coffees. Baba, your mother's happy. I'm happy. And guess what, Baba?
$5.
Only cost me $5. God bless you.
God bless America.
Oh, what a good kid, right?
I love it.
That's a dad.
Yeah, that's a dad. That's a good
That's
dad.
boy.
I'm teaching you something over here. Pay attention. Pay attention. What are you doing?
Well, John, so you want to see something disturbing. Let's get back to the disturbing stuff.
All right.
Birth. Did you watch that video? I sent it to you in the chat. I had no idea the footprint before we even touch the ground. They get their claws into these kids.
The footprint. Stand by one.
It's at birth in the chat. Because I was always wondering, why did they need to get the baby's footprint immediately? Why did they need to separate the baby from the mother? Why did they need to shove all these injections into the baby when he's first born? And it's unbelievable.
I remember that. The birth, the footprint thing. I remember. Stand by one. Stand by one. I remember. I don't know if they did it when we were kids, but I know they started doing it. I've seen the footprint of children being that whole thing, but
not just whispers, but roaring timelines, flickering scenes from around before the inversion, before the world turned synthetic and dressed you in lies disguised as light. They start early.
There's the Trump trophy.
Lullabies and bright toys, but with the surgical severing of the umbilical.
Wow. What is, oh, geez, what is this?
Umbilical cord before your spirit fully descends. That cord wasn't just flesh. It was a vibrational conduit, a spiral of memory linking your higher essence to the harmonic field of your ancestors and the earth. To cut it too soon is the disruption of the sacred calibration of your soul's entry point. It's not medical, it's metaphysical disorientation disguised as care. They don't just want your birth, they want your forgetting. Then they mark you, a seemingly innocent act, pressing your tiny soul onto a pad of ink, leaving a print on a government parchment. But the heel print is worth more than memorabilia. Let's call it a ritual, a symbolic extraction, the healing of your soul, or the taking of your soul from your soul, the signature of one of the first submissions. They archived the imprint, not just for your records, but because the bottom of your foot is an ancient map, a bioenergetic key that holds codes from prior lifetimes. And before you even walk, they've taken it. Up next are inoculations, not once, but repetitive. A schedule of soul sedation, combinations of aluminum, mercury, and foreign proteins. Inoculations not to protect, but to pre-program. To bind your divine vehicle to the framework of the matrix before your first word, your first dream, or your first protest. They call it healthcare, but it's a ritual of rewriting. You're the manuscript being redacted. You've eaten from tables that served entropy, dehydrated simulacra of nourishment, engineered in sterile labs void of vital essence designed to strip the electricity from your mitochondria and reduce your fire to a flicker. The water they gave you, no H3O2. They gave you a weaponized solvent laced with neurosuppressants, not just fluoride, but a concoction to calcify perception. So you'd second guess your second sight, your intuition, your knowing that you know. It's all systematically muffled. Then they layer it further. Creams, lotions, cosmetics, all the tinctures of distortion. Hormonal disruptors dancing across your dermis, whispering synthetic signals to your endocrine symphony, while your natural harmony was retuned to dissonance. Even the soundscape turned treacherous. Subharmonic pulses crafted not for melody, but manipulation. They targeted your electromagnetic self, disassembling your frequency field, making you ache without knowing why. And still, through it all, you endured. Amid the non-player avatars parroting programmed skepticism, mocking your discernment, you held your truth with quiet ferocity. You saw through the veil and chose not to apologize for it. You, beloved, have not forgotten. You've simply been emerging, piece by luminous piece, recovering fragments of past lifetimes through dreams, deja vu, and the spaces between words. You're not awakening now. You have always been in the process of returning, and soon a threshold shall present itself. A binary crossroads. And in that moment, you will either declare your divinity or have a role assigned for you in someone else's script. I say this not to frighten, but to affirm what you already know. The day is coming, and you radiant sovereign anomaly, you were definitely made for it. Even after the fact that they stole your print, your pulse, and your program, they could not touch the eternal flicker buried in your chest. You've walked through spiritual minefields barefoot, carried the weight of memories you weren't supposed to recall, and still you love, and still you hope, and then still you wait for the signal only the awakened can hear. Because despite all they did to dim your flame, they underestimated one truth that breaks every chain. You are not from here. This distorted synthetic reality. This isn't our home. It only overshadows it. You only came to remind the others. And the resonance has been nothing but real. In Marrakesh.
That was amazing.
Wow.
That was pretty.
Wow.
They do, when you're born, they do separate
Remember,
you. Yeah.
WTF you are. Now, this runs coincidentally to that. This is I came across this several years ago, and interesting what he said, because I remember growing up, especially in the institutions that I was trained in, it was sometimes literally beaten out of us that you don't trust your intuition. You don't trust that little voice. We learned it at home, but they would teach us in school that can't be trusted. It's more than a gut feeling. It's more than this, more than that. It is so important that you synthesize that with your common sense. The Course in Miracles actually even points it out. It says, when you thought that you came here, you quite literally came to your senses, and to sense anything means to not know it. So it even says that we went from knowing who we are to sensing what we thought we are, or what we will be. And this Masonic creed, which I came across, I don't know how long ago it was. I knew as soon as I heard this intuitively, even though I had no evidence to back it up, I knew this was legit.
What do you know about the United
One by
Nations?
one.
Have you ever been to the UN?
Everything is being watched from the basement.
Ivermectin was the boogeyman drug during COVID. Couldn't talk about it, couldn't get it anywhere,
You
even
really
though it
doing
was
that?
known to.
And I'm going to read you the Secret Covenant. I only have 10 minutes. It's on the Polly Hicks section of CanadaStreetNews.com. And this is dedicated to the Jesuits, the High Freemasons, and the High Knights of Columbus, and those that have pledged a blood oath allegiance to the Luciferians, secret societies. The Secret Covenant. An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be to accomplish one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak until pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from many of our fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths, and they will destroy their minds and reproductive systems.
RFK, the most profitable thing in the world is a sick child. Mm-hmm. And as he goes on to say, healthy people have 100 dreams. Sick people have one.
From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them and what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in films and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject the poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it's for their help.
Jesus.
We'll start early on when their minds are young, and we will target their children and what the children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals, and that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn
Keep in mind, this is from the 1800s. Okay.
has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them even sicker and cause other diseases for which we will create even yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention towards money and material goods so that they may never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We'll use fear as our weapon. We'll establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides.
Man.
We'll always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. We will perform the labor. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and then tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think that they are guiding themselves. We will foment anonymously between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whatever suits us best.
MLK, JFK, RFK.
We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by
Planned Parenthood.
By using hate as our ally, anger as our
BLM.
friend. The hate will bind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we will emerge as the rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat it over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sound. We'll use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make.
Think about everything that we've been paying for. Oh.
We will guide them kindly and gently sound. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that the color is an illusion. They must always think they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance in our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom that they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story in the world, for we shall own all the media. For we will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans, and we will promise them eternal life. But eternal life they will never have, for they are not one of us. The recruits will be called initiates, and it will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. The members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn the truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will never be.
George Bush said if the public found out what they were doing, he's on record as saying this. He said they'd come after us with pitchforks and torches.
Rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent the passage of the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close that they will not be able to focus on until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be, that they will never know how they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we shall have created for them will own them. The
best slaves are the ones that think they're free.
Reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of dominion will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from the time immemorial. But if they ever find out that they are our equal, we shall perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, they shall have no place to run. For we shall have no place to run, for it is easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our action will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed by blood, our blood. We, the ones who from heaven to earth came, the fallen angels. This covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of, for it is the consciousness that will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast to the depths from whence we came and remain there until the end of time, of infinity. You guys can go to the abyss 1,000 years. You're the evil Jesuit dragon race.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're crazy, Bill. Don't you know? We're crazy. You and I, we're just nuts.
Well, that was uplifting. My God.
Forget your troubles. Come on, get happy. Shout hallelujah. We're on our way. Forget your troubles. Come on. Everything she said, tell me it didn't overlay
playbook
perfectly to what we're seeing and experiencing, not just now, but our whole friggin' lives. I always wondered. I forget who said it. I think it was Marcus Aurelius who said an unexamined life is a life not worth living. I don't know any half-awake person that hasn't gotten here and went, what the hell is this place all about? What are we doing here? Why is it the way it is? It's bizarro land. Really, ultimately, nothing here makes sense.
John, in the chat, special lady, does that make sense to you? What happens here? Because we can't leave people on that note, because I got two things for them. This is the first.
Dude, we're really gonna play special lady.
She's a special lady, John. This is what's going on in the world. This is what's going on in the world. How are you going to hide me from this?
Special lady, stand by one.
Her commentary is just, it's 5-star.
Lordy. Okay. Lordy.
When you have that expression, we got to play it.
Okay. All right. Stand by. Here we go. You asked for it, and you're gonna get it. All right.
Best
You
thing
brought
is,
up. I'm just gonna say. Phil. This is what I deal
welcome
with.
to New York.
This this is what I
That's
this
the
is what I
statue.
look forward to every morning in my
Well,
inbox.
I thought this was the statue in Times Square. No, it's
We go from the Masonic Creed to this broad relieving herself in as a McDonald's. Good. Thank God she didn't drop her drink.
Why not? I spend my money. They don't want me to use that fucking bathroom.
She's a lady. Whoa. She's
You got me fucked up. And guess what? And a whole bunch of people right here to write myself.
Hey, God. All right. That's enough of that. I think we can move on. John, we can't end on that note.
No, John, we can't end on that note. So I brought something else. Which will top that one.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you
Jesus,
blushing?
Baby Jesus, please forgive us for our sins. Forgive Phil, for he knows not what he do.
This one's the best.
All right. Okay. This is the Comet Challenge. All right.
Yes.
I know you've been anxious to play this.
Now we have to explain to everyone they can't try this at home.
Do not try this at home.
No.
If you do, make sure it's someone else's home. Don't do
Or
it.
just film it and send it to us.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, just film it and send it to us.
I'm kidding.
All right, you're going to take the Comet Challenge.
Now, I came up with something new. We're going to do the comment challenge and things of that nature. Your comment has to be closed, so don't cheat, bitches. Do not cheat. Your comment has to be all the way closed and things of that nature. See, I closed. Put your goggles on. They say don't get none in your eyes and shit like that. And I always have your Listerine and water and stuff like this. We're going to try the comment challenge to see what's going to happen. Yeah. I can't breathe. Bitch. Oh shit! Oh shit! I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! You motherfuckers! Y'all try to comment challenge, man. Toughen up.
Oh, Phil.
Jasmine Crockett. I'm sorry. Everything I said about Jasmine Crockett, she's, wow, she's good.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, we couldn't end on such a. I'm glad we ended on the Comet Challenge. I wonder if they're related. The girl in the fast food restaurant and the Comet. But that was a dude with implants. That was not.
Oh, I don't know what that was. That was an Eddie Murphy special, right?
But
there.
that's what I wait. And I said to you, I told you I woke up a half a dozen times last night and really had to calm my mind to get back to sleep. That's because the shit that you sent me, you freaking lunatic. I would say I would like you don't apologize because I know you like it, you sick fuck.
All right, well then I can't leave you on that. If you can tell me what this is, because just one more thing.
One more thing.
The chat at the bottom. I got two more for you. They're images, so it's not going to take that long.
Oh, my God.
What is that? Because, I was going to ask you, but now I see you're in the right frame of mind. Maybe you could tell me, what is that?
Dude, all right. Well, here we go. I'm just going to play it, and we'll see.
I'll go out to eat with you, and I'll, chill with you a little bit, and then I'm going home. Ain't doing nothing else. Your shit is your shit. My shit is my motherfucking shit. Yeah, because we ain't living mommy forever, honey. Yeah, because that pink bedroom set is going to look very nice in a bedroom by itself. Yeah, because I already got shit planned. Like, I can't wait to have the white walls with the pink bedroom set. Stop playing with a bitch. Like, I'll even paint the whole house pink. Don't fucking play with me.
Dude, you are truly disturbed.
What's that?
Woo! You know, I can't even say tune in tomorrow because it's so scary, the shit that you come up with.
No, John, if you go to the bottom of the chat and look at that one,
no.
this is the last one, I swear.
The last one? All right, last one. All right. This is the last one. Oh, dude. This disturbed the shit out of me. I don't know what this is either, but I don't know what the hell is going on, dude. I can't. All right. This is just.
If you couldn't sleep before, John.
Wow. Okay. You asked for it.
What is going on?
What?
Look at one over here.
Over here,
Over here.
Wow.
Thank you. This right here, man.
The world is ending.
Look at one over here.
Over here,
Over here.
Wow.
Thank you. This right here, man.
Hey, on that note, happy birthday, everybody.
This is the before and after comment challenge. That's what happened. It set in. We saw the before. This is the after comment challenge.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Keep praying, everybody.
No. What in and who's this? What is that walking? Oh, dude. All right. Anything else, Phil? Anything else?
I'm good now.
You're good now.
Can't
All right.
stop
Well,
that.
wow, dude. That was all right. All right, everybody. Oh, tomorrow we're gonna have on KDJ. Gonna do the KDJ week in review. So that'll be fun. Maybe a little bit more uplifting. All right.
Maybe he can tell us what that was.
Yeah, maybe he can tell us what it was. All right. Peace out. We'll see you mañana.